What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to The Order, and welcome back to another Marvel's Midnight Suns combat mission breakdown, this time featuring Deadpool. The newest member of the Midnight Suns is finally here. The new DLC has dropped, and I've been getting into some of the early combat missions here with Deadpool, so I wanted to do a quick breakdown of what the Merc with the Mouth brings to the table and show off a little bit of gameplay here. I will be pairing this with another video that I'm going to put out shortly after this one that will go more in depth on his cards and what he brings to the table. But let's get into this combat mission, taking down the Hemolisks and some vampires. So we're going to start off with Deadpool's quick shot ability, which is his dedicated quick card. So his quick is a chain quick. So basically get the KO on the first enemy, and then you'll be able to chain to a second enemy. We talked about quicks a lot in previous videos and how every character has their own sort of flavor of quick. So Deadpool's is a chain quick. You do have the ability to make some of his other cards quick, though, which we'll show off here in a little bit. So now we're going to play his All Together Now card here, which is going to grant him a couple of cards. I wanted to talk about his Enfuego ability here as well, which is his sort of base mechanic, which is his ability basically on KOs to buff all of his cards, or all of his cards that have the Enfuego mechanic on it. So some cards will get more damage, some cards will reduce the heroism. Like this card here, Mag Dump, reduces the heroism when you have a stack of Enfuego. So KOing enemies gets you Enfuego on Deadpool. You lose Enfuego when taking damage. So you want to keep Deadpool out of harm's way to get the most out of him. And definitely using him to do some cleanup and do some finishers is going to make him so much more potent the deeper you go into a mission. So yeah, let's talk about this mission really quickly. Taking down these Hemolisks. I mentioned this in my initial Deadpool reveal video, and I was correct actually, that these are kind of like eggs that do unleash more enemies onto the field if they are not taken down. They do spawn minions as well as elite enemies. And so the trick of trying to figure out, okay, like, should I target the enemies in the field right now, clear them out, take down the Hemolisk? Like, when do I do that? It's kind of the tricky balance, figuring out where to spend your abilities best here. So right now, kind of focusing on taking down one of the Hemolisks while also making sure that I'm taking into account the enemies that are on the field and making sure that neither Deadpool or Blade is on this mission as well, is not overrun. Also going to be looking at here some of what Deadpool's got in his hand. We're going to use a shove here to get rid of this minion and do some damage on the Hemolisk. This is going to leave that Hemolisk with very, very little health. One of our cards down here, Boom Headshot. Really interesting Deadpool card, base attack card that does pretty solid damage. Getting this with a quick modifier really takes it to another level and makes for a really good, strong, quick card. I will say on the front end, my initial impressions of Deadpool, as we see the Hemolisk spawn some enemies here, the other Hemolisk spawn some enemies here, I am mixed on Deadpool so far. I think he can do some fun things. My biggest issue with him is that he brings virtually nothing in the way of utility to the team. So, like, trying to figure out an ideal team comp for him is going to be interesting, because really he's just all about doing damage, stacking those effects, very selfishly. He can get help from his allies with the All Together Now card to help him with that Enfuego building, but I'm so far, I wouldn't say underwhelmed is not the word I want to use, but to some degree, yeah, I'm a little underwhelmed. I kind of expected Deadpool to be a little crazier, like that whole fourth wall thing. I thought that would be a part of his play style, but he's really just kind of, a straightforward damage dealer, mostly single target damage, and he can do some really cool things. You can see this, this Mag Dump card is doing really solid single target damage here, beyond solid, really. As this enemy turn is going on here, the vampires are attacking Blade relentlessly here, and he is getting hit with a ton of those Fang passives, which is giving some of his cards in his hand bleed. So playing those cards is going to grant Blade bleed, which is tough. So what we're going to do first of all here is we need to clear some of these enemies out. And more importantly, we need to get some health back on Blade. Thankfully, I do have Stake in my hand. I will point out as well, this is on a New Game Plus run, so not all of my cards have been like fully upgraded and maxed out and modified and all that. So you might catch some base cards in here. Like the Stake does not have a mod on it. So we've got the Boom Headshot card in our hand. We also have Deadpool's Overpowered, which is a forceful knockback card with a base damage number on it. Again, I think right now I'm trying to get the extra heroism here to be able to play Stake so we can get Blade some health back so he's not in trouble. So we're going to go ahead and use Overpowered on this guy, which has a really cool animation. Deadpool just absolutely drop kicking somebody in the face here. And that's going to give us a stack of Enfuego with the KO. And now we can go ahead and play this Stake and get this lifesteal. I'm going to go ahead and use it on the Hemalisk here. Not only to half the health on this, but also, again, to give Blade his health back so that he's going to be able to stand tall here. And his Cold-Blooded passive kicks in, giving that the bleed, which is awesome. Okay, so we got a couple enemies left on the field here, and we still have the Hemalisk. By the way, part 2 of this mission is going to be continuing on right after this, so we'll see both parts of this mission. The second part is pretty crazy here. So now we're going to use Make Him Bleed. That's going to give us not only some bleed on these cards, but really I did it for the heroism here, so I could do this. Use some environmentals to clear this out. And so now we've got some minions off the field. A point of heroism still. The Hemalisk is very low, and it has bleed on it, so it'll take damage there. So this front half of the mission is looking pretty darn good. One more enemy up there. Hemalisk has bleed. Some good cards in my hand. We do have an enemy down here that we haven't actually addressed. Well, we'll get to him. We'll get to him in a little bit. But other than that, we are good. So Deadpool will take some damage here. And again, you can see the Fangs effect is applying bleed to those cards right there. So we'll have to look out for that when we... And those are not just the cards in hand. Those are also cards in the deck. So that's a pretty cool new enemy passive there. So now we've got some decisions to make here. We want to take out these two enemies and take out the Hemalisk. Can we do this all on the one turn? So Boom Headshot is not going to kill this guy. But if we shove him and then apply Boom Headshot, this will take him out. Just checking to see if Quick Strike will do anything. It won't, of course. And boom. He's out. I do have another Boom Headshot with a Quick on it. I wish that was the one that had the Quick. And look, perfect timing. There is the Boom Headshot with the Quick. So we're going to go ahead and use that to finish off the Hemalisk and get the card play back. Again, getting quick mods on some of these attack cards is just a little bit broken. Which I been exploring with the Wild Strike ability with the Hunter, having quick on that, and it's just ridiculous. Okay, one more enemy left here on the field. How can we get rid of this dude quickly? Don't have the heroism to play any of these big heavy cards in my hand. Probably could have redrawn one of these, to be honest with you. So they're just kind of chilling in my hand here. I am going to end up playing these two cards. So Strike and Reaper is actually a perfect setup here. So we're going to go ahead and hit him with 3 strikes that are going to apply bleed, multiple stacks of bleed. And then we're going to finish him off with Reaper, which is going to do damage and consume the bleed. So he is gone. So that is the end of the first half of this Deadpool Blade mission. Also really cool, this story mission excludes the Hunter. This is a Deadpool Blade. I should have said that on the front end. This is a Deadpool Blade mission. Kind of neat. Kind of forces you to kind of go, again, Hunterless for a story mission, which is kind of neat. I hope the other DLC missions kind of do stuff like that. So now, the second half of this is kind of tricky. So basically, the second half of this mission, we are taking out enemies that are have the feeding frenzy mechanic on them. And so if you can see those little the little green timer with the number below some of these enemies, that means that after that many card plays, they will attack one of these civilians down here. And if they do, that ends the mission. It's a failure. So you have to take out these enemies within that timer, while also, of course, dealing and acknowledging the other enemies and the Hemolisk that are all on the field. So again, really cool. This DLC brought some new mission types to the equation, which I really like. So our focus here is getting these guys down as quickly as possible without consuming too many card plays, because as you can see, again, that timer is going to drop with every card play. Right now, I'm trying to get this guy down to use Relentless. This copy Relentless is not upgraded, as you can see. As I mentioned, this is a new Game Plus run. Haven't finished building out the decks yet. So this Relentless is missing the added damage on it from the upgrade. So we need to figure out another way to get some enemy health lower here. So we're going to get rid of one of those hero combos finally and go ahead and use Make 'em Bleed to get some heroism and to get some other cards in my hand. We do have Daywalker now, which is going to chain 4 and apply multiple stacks of bleed. We might as well use this on the Hemolisk, right? Like, just to add some bleed there. Seems like a smart play. So let's go ahead and take out a couple of enemies and add some bleed to this this guy up here, one of the Feeding Frenzy enemies. And so now that also gave us a couple of Deadpool cards in our hand. And we're going to use the Hunger to add more stacks of Mark just in case. It's a free card play. Why the heck not? Okay, now, Quick Shot's in our hand. Let's go ahead and actually... What are we going to do here? We're going to use Relentless first to take out this enemy. And he's marked, so that'll give us the card play back. Marked is really important, by the way. Having marked any skills that can add mark to enemies, elite enemies, really helpful for getting those card playbacks. Really recommend getting anything with mark or adding mark, or using skills like Hex Mark from Scarlet Witch or Mark Target from Iron Man. Marked is awesome. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and use Deadpool's Quick Shot ability to take out the minion back there and add some additional damage here on the chain. Dark Incubation spawns, meaning we've got some more vampires on the field here. Yay. And they also have Feeding Frenzy on them. So, in only 3 card plays, we have 3 enemies with 3 card plays before they attack a civilian. So, and we only have 1 card play left on our hand on this turn. So, yeah, we got to do something here. So, let's take a look at our hand. First things first, let's actually go ahead and, let's use an environmental to get rid of one of them. So, that's 1 down. And that does not cost, obviously, a card play. So, the timer does not tick any further. We could use this stake. That's going to take out another enemy, which is great. So, now he's down. And we've got another environmental up there, but we don't have the heroism for it. So no worries. Let's go ahead and take the enemy turn. They're going to take some damage and again add that Fang effect, bleed on some of these cards. The Hemolisk is going to take some bleed damage here. Okay, now let's see if we can clear this out on this turn. 3 minions and a damaged Hemolisk. We should be able to finish this off on this turn, I want to say. So we need something. We need some damage here to take out these minions and get them. Again, one up here only has 2 card plays left before they attack civilians. We gotta get rid of that. So we're gonna get rid of one of these altogether now, and we get Boom Headshot in our hand. Is this the one with the quick? It is not. It's the KO card. So at the very least, we can take out one of these guys, which is what we're going to do. The one with the 2 left on the timer. And that spawns the other boom headshot with the quick. Beautiful. Don't you love when a plan comes together? So he's gone. That leaves us with one more down here. Doesn't have Feeding Frenzy. Hemalisk is almost down. Gonna need to get rid of one of these cards. I was saving some of these hero combos and the mag dumps in case I needed a big chunk of damage, but you know, as we can see, doesn't seem like that's gonna be happening anytime soon, or we're gonna need that. So let's just go ahead and, you know, get rid of it. That leaves us a quick strike, which we'll use to take out this minion. And beautiful. Added some heroism, got rid of another enemy. But unfortunately, Dark Incubation, of course, spawns, filling the enemy field back up with a couple more units. Great. Fantastic. So now we have to deal with that. 2 card plays left, and they all have Feeding Frenzy with 3 card plays, 4 down here, which is not ideal. Okay, let's go ahead and we can kill the Hemalisk here with the environmental. That would be great. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Boom, just like that. Great. So now, as we wrap up this mission, let's go ahead and use Deadpool's Forceful Knockback to take out these enemies here. They're gone. And then finally, we've got one more unit left. Deadpool did take some bleed. Deadpool did take some bleed. And it looks like that activated the passive on this vampire that turned him from a minion to an elite. You saw, I don't know if you saw that, but yes, that minion is now an elite enemy. Again, really cool new mechanics in these vampire missions. Okay, so we have 0 card plays left. 2 on the timer on this Feeding Frenzy. Deadpool's going to take some bleed damage. Blade will take the attack, but we only have to deal with one enemy here, so we should be fine. Yeah, we've got mag dump, we've got hero combos. Let's go ahead and just finish this off and get out of here with our lives. So yeah, lots to chew on, no pun intended, with this. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about Deadpool so far if you're playing the game. Again, another video coming up soon after this one, breaking down Deadpool a little bit more thoroughly. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit it with a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Midnight Suns coverage and insight. Until next time, have a good one.